What's written and heard in history does not always tell the complete story. Only in our channel, the other face of history is unveiled. Welcome to our channel. True story of Dracula. The real story of Dracula goes back to a real and controversial historical figure, Vlad III, Prince of Wallachia, which is in present-day Romania, nicknamed Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Tipis, or Vlad Dracula. Here is the true story behind the legend. Vlad III was born around 1431 in Sighișoara, Transylvania, which was back then a part of the Kingdom of Hungary. His father was Vlad II Dragon, other name Vlad II Dragon, Prince of Wallachia. Vlad II joined the Order of the Dragon, a Christian chivalric order aimed at defending Europe against Ottoman expansion and the spread of Islam. Dracul means the dragon in the Old Romanian, derived from the Latin word Draco. The word Drac also means the devil in the modern Romanian, which later added a demonic aspect to the name. His son, Vlad's title, Dracula, literally means son of the dragon or son of the Dracul. As a guarantee of his father's loyalty, Vlad III and his younger brother Radu were sent as hostages to the court of the Ottoman Sultan Murad II during his adolescence, and that was around 1444 and 1448. He lived the difficult formative years in Edirne, where he learned about Ottoman culture and warfare, and witnessed the brutal punishment of offenders, especially the impalement. Historians believe his period shaped his later cruel personality. His father and his elder brother were killed by local nobles, poyers, allied with the Hungary in 1447. With Ottoman help, Vlad III bravely regained the Wallachian throne in 1448, but was quickly defeated. He returned forcefully in 1456 with the Hungarian support, this time seized the throne and began his most famous reign from 1456 to 1462. Vlad III faced massive challenges: rebellions from the boyars who killed his family, the constant threat from the powerful Ottoman Empire, and poverty and crime in his principality. He followed the ruthless policy without mercy to establish order and eliminate corruption and rebellion. Impaling was his preferred method of execution, involving driving a sharp wooden or metal stake through the victim's body from below upwards, often starting from the anus or vagina and emerging through the mouth or shoulder. Death was so slow and horrifically painful. He carried out this punishment on a massive scale against his enemies. He famously invited poor and sick nobles to a banquet. Then he burned them alive after the meal ended. Meanwhile, he impaled the powerful and rebellious nobles. He impaled the criminals, thieves, and beggars in the capital Targovishte, making it so safe, according to accounts, that a pot of gold could be left in the street without being stolen. His goal was to terrorize his enemies, both internal and external, and to prove he was merciless to anyone who defied him. He refused to pay tribute to the new Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed the Conqueror of the Constantinople. In 1462, the Ottomans launched a major invasion of Wallachia. Vlad used brutal guerrilla tactics, poisoning wells, burning crops, launching surprise night attacks. The most famous being the night attack, where he attempted to assassinate Muhammad himself in his camp, but failed to pinpoint his tent accurately. The most infamous scene of this conflict was the Forest of the Impaled outside Targovishte. When the Ottoman army led by Muhammad the Conqueror arrived, they were shocked by the horrific sight. Thousands of impaled Ottoman prisoners and Turkish mercenaries stretched for kilometers. It is said The stench and the sight were enough to make the Sultan, despite his own cruelty, retreat and decide to return to Constantinople, reportedly saying, "We cannot take this country from a man capable of doing this." Despite temporarily repelling the Ottomans, Vlad was betrayed by his younger brother Rado, who allied with the Ottomans, and by the Hungarian king Matthias Corvinus, who arrested him under false pretenses. He was imprisoned in Hungary for 12 years, from 1362 to 1474. During this time, he converted to Catholicism and married a relative of the king. He was released in 1474 with Hungarian support to fight the Ottomans again, first in Bosnia and then in Wallachia. He briefly regained the Wallachian throne in 1476, but was killed in a battle against the Ottomans near Bucharest in December 1476 or January 1477. His head was cut off and sent to the Sultan in Istanbul as proof of his death. Stories of his atrocities, especially impalement, spread through printed pamphlets in Germany, Russia, and elsewhere in the 15th century, cementing his image as proto-tyrant. The meaning of the title Dracula shifted from son of the dragon to the son of the devil in the popular imagination, especially outside Romania. After his death, stories spread in Romania and Eastern Europe about his demonic nature and association with black magic, possibly fueled by phenomena like undecayed corpses due to burial methods or soil. These superstitions feed the idea of him returning back from the dead. Bram Stoker, the Irish author, drew inspiration from his history and folklore for the character of Count Dracula. In his famous 1897 novel, he used the name Dracula, linked him to Transylvania, Vlad's birthplace, and imbued him with supernatural vampire traits like immortality, drinking blood, turning into a bat, weakness to the cross, etc., moving away from the historical figure, but immortalizing his memory in a terrifying new form. In the West, Europe, and America, he is remembered as a symbol of cruelty and evil. Thanks to the 15th century pamphlets and Stoker's novel, the real Dracula is Vlad III, the Impaler, Vlad Tepes, a real prince who ruled in the 15th century. He was an exceptionally cruel ruler who used impalement as a primary tool to governance and terror against his internal and external enemies. The real Dracula is Vlad III, the Impaler, the Vlad Tepes, a real prince who ruled in the 15th century. He was an exceptionally cruel ruler who used impalement as a primary tool to governance and terror against his internal and external enemies, especially the Ottomans. His notorious cruelty, his titles, the son of the devil, the son of the dragon, and local superstitions about him formed the foundation upon which Bram Stoker built his famous fictional vampire character.